Now, it always sucks when a car gets canceled. I mean, obviously, right? As fans and collectors, we want as many cars as possible, especially new ones. And when a car gets canceled, there is no guarantee that Mattel will ever go back and uncancel it a couple years down the road. There is no promising that they will revisit that exact same car and finally put it out on the store shelves. Now, over the last decade and a half, while Mattel has done a decent job at uncanceling cars, that also means in tandem that they have canceled a good amount of releases. I mean, dating back to 2010 with all of those Piston Cup crews that they have yet to even sniff again, but also in 2010, Percy Handbrakes, Mildred Bylane, Dan Sklarkenberg, they were all originally canceled and finally found their way out, a couple years, 5 years, 7 years down the road. With Cars 2, you had Josh Coolin. He found his way out 9 years later. Mayor with Cone Teeth was canceled 3 times, but finally was released in 2022 actually, and then again in 2021, but you guys get the point. Now in this video, we're going to be talking about Mattel's most recent cancellation, and honestly, they've done a great job of not canceling cars over the last few years, or maybe it's more so not canceling stuff that the public then finds out about by, releasing images of it and then it just never shows up. Like in late 2019 when they had images of the Taco Mint crew chief, the Fiber Fuel crew chief, no stall tractor, Tanko tractor, combustor tractor, Cruz Ramirez's Jackson Storm, the list goes on. All of those images leaked out on the Walmart or Amazon, and then they just never appeared. But hey, this year we got that Taco Mint crew chief uncanceled. So the trend continues. But today, it's a little bit of a morning for this character that you probably see in the thumbnail there. Probably I put into the title as well, depending on how revealing I want to be. But Margaret Motorray, who is a highly anticipated release, did indeed replace the Citroën Clown from the Showtime episode of Cars on the Road. Now, granted, probably this was a good decision. Margaret Motorray actually had speaking lines, had a significant role in the Legend episode of Cars on the Road. Highly anticipated, got released as a mini racer last year. She's a really cool model. She's got some cool doodads. She goes great with Griswold, who they've done, and now all we need is for them to do Clutch Humboldt, the RV, but God knows how they will ever do that one because, well, they don't do deluxes anymore. And, maybe a multi-pack, maybe an Amazon 3-pack like Ivy, but it's really unknown how they would ever be able to do Clutch Humboldt, the third Cryptid Buster in that episode. But we'll see. That's a whole nother story. At least we are getting Margaret. Now, going into this year, when I was given the entire list of all the case content, I was very surprised that Margaret was not on it. Again, like I said, character with speaking lines, totally feasible to do as a single. It's basically Maurice Wilkes with some extra doodads on her, right? Totally doable. But I figured, all right, they're just going to stretch the good stuff over the course of a few years, just like how they kind of did with Cars 3. Or maybe this will just end up being the Cars 3 Thunder Hollow announcer that they have yet to do. But no, obviously, here we have Margaret Motorray, and they plunked her in the Case K, which just came out in Australia, and thanks to Astro Smokey down there, he has been able to reveal and discover that Margaret replaced Holly Schiffwell in that case. No big deal, because Holly Schiffwell is in a bunch of other cases this year, and obviously she wasn't even new to begin with. So in that case, she didn't replace anyone, but in the grand scheme of the 2024 Mainline, she did end up replacing the Citroën Clown. Now, what was weird about this situation was that the Citroën Clown was not supposed to debut until Case L, yet Margaret found her way into Case K. So one case sooner, she's like, Holly Schiffwell, get out of here. But what's even stranger than that is that according to my documentation, the Citroën Clown was only going to be in the half version of Case L, so the Walmart case. But we all know that the half cases show up at more stores than just Walmart. But yeah, they were going to put her in the half case. Now, I guess I am just gendering the Citroën Clown as a her, but all of the clowns in the pink swirly paint jobs are females, at least as far as we know. But anyways, regardless, they were going to put the Citroën Clown in the half version and exclude the Citroën Clown from the full case out. This would be the first time they had ever done that by putting a car in the half version and then just not in the full version. Usually it's the other way around. And yeah, wasn't going to be in any other case. Super strange. There was stuff, like you could smell the Citroën Clown was fishy from day one when I got this information in fall of 2023. Only being in the half case, not in any other case, despite being a new release, a Clown, which they tend to like to release quite a bit. So it almost kind of made sense that he was maybe doomed from the get-go. But yeah, I just wanted to make a little quick video updating you guys on this and kind of talking about analyzing the decision here. At the end of the day, if they do end up doing the Citroën Clown, I think it was the right call because Margaret is that much more of a highly anticipated release. But then again, I think it would not have been a bad call to just kind of push Margaret into 2025, have one of those kind of, I wouldn't say blockbuster, but one of those like staple characters to help the 2025 mainline flow instead of shooting their wad so early on with this cars on the road stuff, which they kind of have because there really are not that many significant McQueen and Mater variants going forward here. And that really is a strong selling point for them in terms of cars on the road. So then I guess now they need to resort to all these secondary characters, and Margaret definitely was one of them. And if it's going to be tough to release Clutch Humboldt, which we know it will be, then maybe they should have saved her. My other point here is that I always feel that Margaret is going to be the more likely release. Like when they look and start creating the next year's mainline, Margaret, in any situation, in a vacuum, Margaret would always be a more likely candidate for a release than the Citroën Clown for obvious reasons. Speaking lines, much more of a realistic character. They've done the Land Rover type model more than they have the Citroën. Well, maybe that's actually not true. They have done quite a few Citroëns. Anyways, they haven't done a Citroën in longer. So it's like, man, did we just want to it was a great opportunity to get that Citroën Clown and we just kind of blew it. Like, let's say in any given year, the Citroën Clown had like a 15% chance of being released and we just hit it. Like Russian roulette, blackjack, we just hit on the Citroën Clown in 2024. Margaret Motorray had an 85% chance of getting released in any given year. And we screwed it up. We had our chance, we got lucky, and we blew it. We squandered it. I don't know, that's just like my weird way of thinking about this because maybe this will all be put to bed. They'll release the Citroën Clown next year. We won't ever talk about this again. But what if they don't? What if they never release the Citroën Clown? It's feasible. It could happen, guys. Last year, they canceled You the Bomb Mater in the final case of the year. This year, they've canceled the Citroën Clown, but at least they've replaced her with a really solid substitute. Oh, what the hell, Mattel? Why are you always making it difficult on us? But anyways, guys, thank you as always for watching this video. I didn't mean to hold this information from you, but it was definitely the right thing for me to do to wait until all the other cases had been revealed until I could talk about this. And also, yeah, I mean, it just makes sense for the flow. I just did the case M reveal a few days ago. And yeah, it's a fun little topic, maybe a little sad for some, but let me know in the comments below. Would you have preferred to have gotten Margaret or the Citroën Clown? For me, I'm going to say I would have preferred the Citroën Clown because I would trust that Margaret would get released eventually. Now that we have Margaret, I am not fully confident that we will get the Citroën Clown eventually because it's a little bit more of an obscure release. And yeah, that's why you've looked at the exact same screenshot for this entire video because the Citroën Clown's literally only in one scene of cars on the road. And maybe that also contributed to the decision. Like, why are we releasing this random background character with half a second of screen time and not Margaret? It makes sense. I could totally see it from both sides. All right, guys, let me know what you think. Bye now.